My message here tonight is very simply about love, hope, and mission. Mission. In this room tonight, there are many of the people that I love. My wife, Joanne, my mother, Augusta, my children, John, the fourth, and Jennifer, and her husband, Chris, and my sister, Millicent. There are also cherished friends, both old and new, people from my childhood, like Dr. Thaddeus Bell and his wife, Cynthia. Dr. Bell, by the way, who in his own right is doing some tremendous things in Charleston, South Carolina, in dealing with disparities of his community. Other very prominent leaders in healthcare, like Dr. Michael Belzer, who, with me, have contributed significantly to growth and the betterment of organizations in which we served and associated. That's Hennepin County Medical Center. In fact, I'm very happy to say that with Dr. Belzer and Dr. Mark Steele, my current Chief Medical Officer, I've had the pleasure of having a medical staff partner over 22 years of service with those two gentlemen. And I think collectively, we made a difference. We had a wonderful working relationship with a superb CFO, Mr. Al Johnson. I'm not that good with numbers, as Al will tell you, but I think it's been 27 years. I have many friends here today, friends like Robert and Patricia Holder, Dr. Brett Ferguson, Kevin Lofton, many more, my friends from AHA, colleagues, staff, and fellow board members, Dr. Bruce Siegel, all of whom have made life interesting, whether in the boardroom, the basketball court, tennis courts, or jazz venues around the world, or simply engaging in the art of lively conversation. Thank you all for taking the time and being here tonight. And finally, my highly capable, high-performing leadership team, staff, and board members. I have several board members here tonight. The Honorable Peggy Dunn, my board chair currently, Mr. Paul Black, former board chair and now head of all scripts, the Honorable Judge Gray, Mr. Jerry Tilzer is here tonight, the Honorable Joanne Collins is here tonight. Just goes to show you that management can't do it alone. Governance is very important. And I hope all of you know that for me, it's a team game. Every day, each and every one of you remind me that the whole is greater than the sum of our individual talents and ambitions. It's all about the team. Now, the leadership books that I have read all seem to agree on one thing. Effective leaders typically have a strong support system because it is what gives them the confidence to make tough choices and controversial decisions. I could not do what I do today if it were not for the people in this room who have loved and supported me personally and professionally. Another thing about love, I love what I do. As healthcare administrators, our work is not trivial. We work hard, and we do hard work. We are doing good for the world, something that really matters. We make a difference in the communities we serve and the patients that we help. Now, there's a group of folks here that are very important to not only my institution, but any institution. Those are the people that actually do the work. These are the people who cook the food for our patients and our staff who sanitize the rooms, the floors, so that our patients can have a safe and comfortable stay at our institutions. They create safe environments for patients, staff, visitors, and the like. They create an esprit de corps that's welcoming and pleasant and warming, everything that our patients deserve. We have nursing staffs who take care of our patients in a time of need, give the caring that our patients deserve. We have people that manage the work schedules so that those of us in this room can be where we're supposed to be on time and prepared to deliver the messages that we are intended to deliver. I've got a good dozen plus people here in the room today that fit some of those categories and are in large part the reason that I'm standing on this podium today. I'd like for you to recognize these people. Ms. Velta Campbell in Food Services, Mr. Linton Bailey, a security officer for over 20 years, Ms. Teresa Pearson, 17-year nurse, runs our occupational health and wellness, Mr. Jackie Wilson, she's been there for 18 years, a nurse by training, does our corporate patient experience program. Irma Noble, she's a senior catering consultant with our food service department, 26 years in that role. Mona Gaines, environmental services supervisor, over 11 years there. Erlinda Tab, care coordinator in our diabetes clinic, 26 years. Kathy Cheatham, a concierge, greets people every day, over 10 years. Mr. Mike O'Neill, who runs our food service, an excellent food service for Morrison's Foods. Montoya Collins, my personal assistant. Michelle Jones, who assists Montoya with me. Marcella Riley especially. She helps me with those 50 applications for Quality Quest, get that work done. And Fran Smith has a very special job at our institution. She runs a full-service branch bank within the walls of our hospital and does it very expertly. They're sitting in the back of the room. I'd like for them to stand and be received. Yeah. Thank you very much for that. Okay. So, people follow leaders as opposed to plans or ideas. You can be a good leader for a bad cause. But healthcare is a good cause, one of the best, and that's why I love what I do. In 1997, in North Minneapolis, a community showed the very essence of hope when they hired me to take over a fledgling community health center on the brink of closing. The Pilot City Health Center, in the view of many, was a critical community asset that the community in Hennepin County wanted to take a leap of faith in bringing me into that town to see if I could make a difference. And I'll tell you, I was determined not to let them down. I mean, truth be said, a lot like Kevin Lofton, I really hate to lose. I really mean that. I really hate to lose. And I was hell-bent on doing a good job for that institution, the people who work there, the patients who got service there, and the community at large. One of the first decisions I made was to hire a young, talented lady named Catherine Dish. Kathy and I, we ended up working together and succeeding repeatedly despite mounting odds and limited resources in 3 different institutions over the course of 34 years. It seems like yesterday, CD. I remember your mother bringing you to the interview on your tricycle before I interviewed you. And I looked down on that bike, that little tricycle, and it said, she's the one. And my point is, good leaders take risks because they have that thing inside them that is called hope. But they cannot succeed without those who follow them having the faith to trust our vision as leaders, and as a result of having that faith, adding their own value to the fight rather than sitting on the sidelines. Thank you, Kathy. And last, mission. What a wonderful word. As healthcare leaders, the mission of our organizations is about caring for our patients and the communities in which they live, including those in need. Without proper health care, the most vulnerable patients, the most vulnerable people among us will never be able to overcome their circumstances. I see our mission is to help them overcome those circumstances. Thank you. Thank you. Nelson Mandela is a hero of mine, and he once said, I'm paraphrasing, something on the order that overcoming poverty is not a task of charity, it is an act of justice. He wrote that poverty is not natural, but instead it is man-made. Poverty can be eradicated, he said, by the actions of human beings. So if you believe that, it falls on us to take this part of our mission very, very seriously. Things always seem impossible, Mandela said, until they are done. It is often said that all of societal ills eventually end up in our hospitals. And I believe we have the responsibility to deal with all of them, both inside the hospital and outside. My leadership team and the people who know me are very familiar with my mantra, everything matters, all the time. And leadership is defined by health, by love, hope, and mission. So, in closing, I am really loving everything encompassed here in the NCHL event. Thank you very much for considering me for this award and the recognition, and I really appreciated the time spent with Gail Warden before the event, got to know him a little better than previously. Thank you so much for that. And I hope that it has been as enjoyable for you as it has been for me. And now I declare mission accomplished for the evening. Thank you very much for this recognition. Thank you.